Terry a lethal dose of insulin in August of 2024, but a jury later found her guilty of lesser charges in manslaughter and obstruction of justice. Sunwall's attorneys argued Terry was contemplating suicide and that Sunwall just wanted to help relieve her suffering. However, prosecutors argued Sunwall encouraged Terry to take her own life for years, believing she would profit from a 7-figure insurance policy. Today's hearing included emotional testimony from Terry's sister, who called Sunwall evil and asked the judge to impose the maximum possible prison sentence. Sunwall also spoke herself, tearfully apologizing to Terry's family, saying she wishes she could take it back. The judge eventually sentenced her to serve up to 15 years in prison, but ultimately the Utah Board of Pardons and Parole will decide when she gets released. At the 4th District Courthouse in Provo, Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Developing news on KSL News Radio. We are learning more about that lockdown at Provo High School. Police say they got a call around 7:32 this morning that someone was going to kill themselves and others. Now, officers conducted a thorough search. They did not find any credible threats. Classes resumed as normal around 10 o'clock this morning. The Quarters Arcade Bar and Sugar House has announced that it is closing. It's the latest in small business exile of Sugar House. KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott has the story.
In a post on Instagram, the Quarters management chalked up the closure to slow summers, construction, and high rent, echoing the same concerns that have closed businesses in the area in recent years, like Got Beauty, Mellow Mushroom, and Sugar House Barbecue.
You know, that's what's been happening with everybody. Now we're watching all the small businesses go away, like the Chase Bank that took over Sugar House Barbecue. That was a bank back in the day, and then local businesses came through and a few rotated through there over the years, and now it's a bank again.
Chad Hopkins is the owner of Hopkins Brewing Company in the heart of Sugar House. He says every day is an uphill battle for small businesses. Cameron Elliott, KSL News Radio.
Starting today, Pioneer Crossing will be 3 lanes wide, both directions. UDOT is hoping it will reduce the travel time between Lehigh and Saratoga Springs. By the end of this year, those extra lanes will become flex lanes, meaning that they can change which direction the lane goes in with some traffic lights. Now, it's expected to cut about 6.5 miles of travel time. We will talk to UDOT's John Gleason at 12:15 about these new flex lanes. A petition in Ogden has been gaining traction, asking the city to reconsider a paid parking initiative in the downtown area.
We would like to have a better plan rather than making not only employees and residents, but also customers pay for parking.
That is Angie Van Leer, who started the petition. Her mother is a business owner on 25th Street. She says she worries that paid parking would take away from the charm of the area and lower the business traffic. The petition now has thousands of signatures, including business owners from the area. Angie plans to present it before the city council at their meeting tomorrow night. The city says paid parking came into the conversation because of the city's Wonder Block program. The goal was to revamp downtown by bringing in more commercial buildings, housing, and public spaces into the area. A city bond for the program was to be paid through paid parking. The city's website argues that paid parking will help, not harm, the businesses. KSL's top national stories. President Trump says Operation Freedom begins today. It's the administration's latest plan to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and involves providing a protective shield for ships navigating the strait. It comes as peace talks with Iran remain stalled and gas prices continue to rise. More now from ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce.
The U.S. continues its own naval blockade of Iranian ports, which has so far turned around 45 commercial ships, putting financial pressure on Iran. U.S. forces seizing at least one ship, alleging the vessel tried to violate the blockade after 6 hours of warnings. ABC News now learning that the U.S. has transferred the 22 crew members from that ship to Pakistan to be repatriated to Iran.
Iranian officials say, Tehran receives a U.S. counterproposal to end the war via mediators in Pakistan this morning. ABC's White House correspondent Karen Dravers has more.
There are no talks scheduled, at least in person. The president's been very clear he doesn't want to see 18-hour flights from his top representatives, his special envoy Steve Witkoff, his son-in-law Jared Kushner, until they're closer to an actual deal. But he says there are talks taking place between the U.S. and Iran.
Tensions continue to escalate despite the rumors. The United Arab Emirates reporting drone and missile strikes within the last few hours. First Look Traffic. Good afternoon, Ricky.
Good afternoon, Maria. Well, good news. Northbound traffic on I-15 from Murray through South Salt Lake rolling along once again. But we do have a disabled vehicle in traffic southbound I-15 near 123rd South in Draper. It's blocking a right lane. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:05.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
My friend Joey means well.
Always remember that the early bird gathers no moss.
But he gets a little confused.
You know, you can't make a silk purse out of a wooden nickel.
Like Joey, many of us can be confused when it comes time to plan for retirement. When to take Social Security, how to use that 401k, what about the stock market, taxes, and Medicare? Todd Kim at Galileo Wealth Management can help to simplify retirement planning. His goal is to have you walk into retirement with confidence, not worry, and to address the #1 concern among retirees today, the fear of running out of money. Call Galileo Wealth today for a no-cost, no-obligation meeting to talk about the details of your retirement. 385-247-7000. It's 385-247-7000 or online, GalileoWealth.com. And remember,
one man's trash is thicker than water. Of course, water's not thick at all. It's watery.
Getting help with plumbing repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Thank you for joining us for Utah's Noon News. Recapping our top story, a judge has ordered a former Santaquin nurse to spend upwards of 15 years in prison after she was convicted of helping her friend die by an insulin overdose. KSL News Time, 12:08. Utah is stepping up its push to lead in artificial intelligence, starting with students and future workforces. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera explains.
State higher ed leaders are launching a new AI task force, bringing colleges, employers, and government together to better connect what students learn with what jobs actually need. The first step, a new AI workforce credential students can earn alongside their degree. Governor Spencer Cox says it's part of a bigger push to keep Utah ahead, as the state tries to position itself as a leader in the fast-moving AI race. Starting July 1st, tens of thousands of students graduating over the next few years can earn that credential for free through an online program tied to their major.
State leaders say more details on how students can sign up are expected in the coming weeks. Today, Box Elder County leaders are expected to vote on whether a massive proposed data center project will move forward or not. Box Elder County Commission actually delayed taking action on the proposal at their meeting last week after dozens of people showed up to voice their opposition. Local farmer Jed Shannon spoke to KSL after that meeting.
I need my water to take care of my cattle. If they're going to allocate 13,000 acre feet of water and then not use it, I just don't believe them.
Project organizers are promising to take steps to protect the environment and to use as little water as possible. Today's commission meeting is scheduled to start at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We will have a reporter there as the commission votes. Summer is coming and bringing a spike in the cost of cooling your home. KSL News Radio's Tammy Kikuchi reports.
July and August are the hottest months of the year in Utah, and Dave Eskison with Rocky Mountain Power says customers should anticipate higher energy bills as a result.
Our system is very sensitive to temperature, so the summer is when customer demand is the highest.
The National Energy Assistance Directors Association anticipates the annual cost of cooling homes will increase by about 8% 8.5% over last year. Eskelsen says the rate of increase depends on the size of your home and the type of cooling you use. But he also says Rocky Mountain Power's costs are among the lowest in the nation. Crews have been working through autumn and spring to prepare their systems for the peak usage time. Tammy Kikuchi, KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at uccu.com. What's happening, Ricky?
They've been able to get this disabled vehicle out of traffic. It happens to be a big tractor trailer southbound I-15, 123rd South Draper. All lanes are now open. So the little bit of backup it was causing will clear out pretty quickly now. We do have good speeds on the rest of the Valley freeways. We've had delays in Wasatch County in Heber due to an accident at Main Street. That's Highway 40 and 100 South. At one point, it had been blocking all lanes, and even though they're working to get it cleared out of the way, you still could see a little bit of backup if you happen to be in downtown Heber. And for those in downtown Salt Lake City, a report of a crash in the cleanup stages at 6th North and 6th West. At UTA, it's never just a ride from point A to point B. They move independence, they move purpose, they move memories, they move what matters. You plan your trip at rideuta.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey, forecasting a high of 74 today. Maybe a slight chance for a shower to roll in from the mountaintops. All in all, mostly dry. 51 overnight, mostly cloudy. 69 tomorrow. Yet again, afternoon heating. Could pop up a couple of showers in the higher elevations. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Right now it's sunny and 72 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City, and still to come on Utah's Noon News. We will talk about the increased lanes on Pioneer Crossing and how they can help you out. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The KSL News Radio movie show comes to My Hearing Centers Friday from 10 to 1. But first, discover what My Hearing Centers can do for you. My Hearing Centers uses advanced technology to diagnose and treat hearing loss. These comprehensive evaluations determine the best treatment options. Then enjoy lifetime support with regular check-ins, cleaning, and maintenance. Call My Hearing Centers at 801-701-1629. 801-701-1629 for more details. My Hearing Centers has offices from Ogden to St. George.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Join us at Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, our biggest trade event of the year, May 14th through the 17th. Trade in your RV and get the highest value guaranteed. Then upgrade for less with new RVs starting as low as $94 a month. Plus, take 25% off select maintenance services. Save up to 40% on camp-ready must-haves. And enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Red, White, and New Trade event at your local Camping World, May 14th through the 17th. We'll see you there.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SCHEV.
KSL News Time 12:15. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
Quarters Arcade Bar announced they will be closing their Sugar House location, reflecting a larger trend of small businesses closing in that area. I'm KSL News Radio's Cameron Elliott.
Second, the Provo High School lockdown was cleared. No credible threat was found, and classes are back on their regular schedules. Third, traffic and weather together, Ricky.
A little bit of leftover delay on southbound I-15 in Draper near 123rd South due to an earlier stalled vehicle in traffic. It's now over to the shoulder, out of the way. We're just waiting for the backups to clear out. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Slight chance for mountain storms today and tomorrow. I'm Matt Johnson.
And a few clouds, 72 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. President Trump now says Iran is taking shots at ships from countries not involved with the U.S.-Iran conflict in the Middle East, including a commercial vessel from South Korea. It comes after the president announced Project Freedom would begin today, a plan to have the U.S. military assist with ships trying to get through the Strait of Hormuz.
U.S. Central Command saying the U.S. will use guided missile destroyers, over 100 land and sea-based aircraft, and over 15,000 service members to carry out the job. Iran, which maintains a chokehold on the strait, quickly firing back, calling Trump's effort delusional. Iran's military saying it will attack U.S. forces if they attempt to approach or interfere in the Strait of Hormuz.
ABC News Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce. Meanwhile, the United Arab Emirates now says it's intercepting Iranian attacks, the first significant attacks it's faced since the ceasefire was established early last month. Tom Klaza with Gulf Oil says it's all putting pressure on oil prices.
There is no end in sight to this. The strait needs to be reopened, and it needs to be reopened and restored to where it was beforehand.
There is movement in the case of the abortion drug mifepristone.
Justice Samuel Alito, who oversees the Fifth Circuit of courts in the United States and has responsibility over this case, has issued a temporary administrative stay. This is a battle that's been brewing for some time, the front line now of the abortion battle in the United States.
ABC's Devin Dwyer, a lower court in Louisiana, had sought to restrict by mail access to mifepristone late last week. Now the drug will be available by mail as the court weighs its next move. And Cole Allen is in court today. He's the California man accused of planning an attack on the White House Correspondents' Dinner last month. A judge today expressing concern with the post-arrest treatment of Allen and whether he's faced conditions that amount to abuse. You're listening to ABC News.
Time for the KSL In-Depth. Pioneer Crossing is expanding starting today. It's now 3 lanes wide, both directions. Ideally, it will reduce travel time. UDOT spokesperson John Gleason joins me live. John, thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me, Maria.
Okay, so since it's brand new, remind people where these lanes are.
Yeah, absolutely. We've opened up an additional lane in each direction on Pioneer Crossing, about 4.5 miles between Lehigh and Saratoga Springs. And so that really increases the capacity by 50%. We've had 2 lanes in each direction before. Now we have 3 lanes in each direction. So a lot smoother commute for people.
So describe for us how the flex lanes are going to work. I know some people are familiar with them depending on where they live, but others might be surprised by these.
Yeah, absolutely. For the rest of the year, we're working on installing those flex lanes, which essentially gives you 4 lanes of travel in the peak direction. So that's eastbound in the morning and then westbound in the evening for Pioneer Crossing. And it will just have the signs overhead that let you know if this is a lane that is going westbound or eastbound, just depending on the time of day. And we have the flex lanes currently implemented. They've been in place for about 13 or 14 years in the Taylorsville area on 5400 South, and they seem to work really well.
Yeah, describe how they are working and why you've decided to go this route.
Well, I think it makes sense when you have travel that is heading one direction during the morning peak, and then in the evening commute, you have it heading the exact opposite direction. So it allows us to be flexible with those lanes and just really accommodate the traffic just depending on the time of day. And it's worked well in Taylorsville over the last decade plus. And I think anytime you put something new in, you want to give people a chance to get used to it. But overall, it's done a great job on cutting down congestion, and we hope to have similar results in the northern Utah County area.
Right. So what do people need to be aware of since construction is still ongoing with the flex lanes?
Well, for the rest of the year, we're going to be working on installing the equipment for the flex lanes, and there will be some intermittent overnight closures as we're installing that equipment. But overall, I think people are going to notice that they're able to move with much more ease on Pioneer Crossing with that additional lane that's opening. And then we'll have more information out there as we're getting ready to open up the flex lanes, and just let people know what's expected.
All right, John, I appreciate your time. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks, Maria.
And live on the KSL Newsline, that is UDOT spokesperson John Gleason talking about the fact that Pioneer Crossing is now 3 lanes wide in both directions, and those flex lanes will soon be implemented. Let's get you up to date with traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Ricky?
Well, the delays have pretty much cleared out going southbound on I-15 through Draper, where we had a stalled vehicle in traffic at 123rd South. It's no longer a factor. All lanes are open, and even though traffic has still been a little bit busy right at that spot, it's easing very quickly. All of the rest of the Valley freeways are seeing a pretty good drive, delay-free, and if you happen to be on north or southbound I-15, you're in pretty good shape in Weber, Davis, Salt Lake, and Utah counties. Spring has blossomed in Box Elder County. History, recreation, and wildlife, and excellent dining and shopping await you. Learn more at visitboxeldercounty.com. Produced in cooperation with the Utah Office of Tourism. Ricky Meeson, the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. Looking good today for your Monday, 74, and we'll see some clouds in the afternoon. Maybe a slight chance for a shower that could try to roll in from the mountains. 69 tomorrow, similar deal. We got a chance for sprinkles and a 30% chance some of those mountain showers could move in. All right, Wednesday, 66, cooler, mostly sunny. I got partly cloudy skies and a 76 on Thursday. Friday looks terrific, 79, mostly sunny. I got Saturday down for 74, partly cloudy. Mother's Day right now looks dry, 77. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And really nice temperatures. A bit of sunshine, 72 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City. 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. And a quick check of the markets. The Dow right now down by nearly a full percent. A complete update of your money news is coming up next.
Trying to make sense of the markets? Looking to diversify out of all the craziness? Thinking about tangible assets like precious metals? Listen to The Gold Show with Alan Johnson right here on KSL at 3 p.m. Sunday afternoons. Stay up to date on retirement trends, how the IRA rollover process works, and why investors are turning to physical gold. Alan is a national talk show host with decades of experience in the markets. Tune in for Alan's Insights and The Gold Show this Sunday afternoon at 3.
Hi, it's Greg Skordas, and for years and years, I'd maintained the same weight until I hit 60, and then it started piling on. I don't know why. I could not get that weight to come off. So I contacted SOTA, and I said, look, I need to lose between 20 and 30 pounds. They said, sign up, and so I did. There's no pills, there's no injections, it's just food. I have a nutritionist who helps me, and I told her, look, I can't even wear some of the suits I used to wear. Well, after the first week, I lost 8 pounds. After the second week, I'd lost over 10 pounds. I'm starting to be able to put some of my suits on. I'm starting to be able to put my belt on like I hadn't before. I'm back on the bicycle again. I'm getting outside again, and I'm doing the activities that I did when I was 40 years old. Having my wife join me was great because you can join now and your partner joins for free. That's right, 2 people for the price of 1. SOTADietNutrition.com. It's a great program. It's worked for me. It'll work for you. SOTA, as in state of the art. SOTADietNutrition.com. So to weight loss, join them for a short time to have results that last a lifetime.
Does your mom dream of asphalt? Maybe not. She does dream of things done right. Whether you park it, stripe it, or pave it, GoPave's got your blacktop covered. Visit GoPaveUtah.com.
KSL News Time 1224.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that.
Shakira performed for a huge audience in Brazil. The singer drew in over 2 million people because the concert was free. She said it was the biggest concert of her career and helped boost Rio de Janeiro's economy. Watching Utah's money. We are watching gas prices right now, and AAA says the price per gallon is below the national average here in Utah. It's $4.38 national average, sitting at $4.45. It's a Barbie world, and USPS knows that, so the company is releasing a limited edition Barbie stamps. They will feature the dolls dressed as 10 iconic careers like doctor, astronaut, firefighter, and professional athlete. Right now, the stamps are priced at 78 cents each. And taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is now down by 516 points, more than a full percent, sitting at 48,982. S&P down by 30 and the NASDAQ down by 52 points. We are hearing from the parents of an 8-month-old who was born twice.
Kashira and Greg Joubert got devastating news that their second child had a rare condition which causes fluid to become trapped in the baby's lungs.
Conservative to say 20 to 25% chance of positive outlook before our first surgery.
A doctor at Orlando's Winnie Palmer Hospital opted to try an extraordinary alternative. He partially delivered Cassian via C-section as the medical team worked to create an airway. Then they placed him back in the uterus, and Mom stayed in the hospital until delivery.
That is ABC's Hannah Battah reporting. I thought things like that only happened on Grey's Anatomy. We'll check your traffic and weather coming up next. KSL News Time, 1226.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Hi, Grandma. What's for dinner?
Hey, honey, I'm making stew tonight.
Ooh, can Nina come over?
I'm not sure about our new friend. I wonder if there's been any drinking going on. Alcohol at her age can lead to so many bad things. I've been meaning to ask you, what would happen if someone offered you a drink?
Grandma?
This is hard. She's so young, but I know I need to talk to her about it now before someone tries to give her alcohol. If anyone ever does offer you a drink, I want you to say no. I have too much respect for my family, and I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay.
Really?
I promise, Grandma. I love you too.
Okay, how about tasting this stew and telling me what you think?
Some children may try alcohol as young as 9 years old. It's not too early to talk about drinking. For tips on how to begin the conversation, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. That's underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. This message brought to you by SAMHSA and this station.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. You deserve to love where you bank. Ricky, what's happening?
We have a nasty accident in Utah County. It has closed the intersection at Crossroads Boulevard and Commerce Drive. Now, this is going to be just to the east of Redwood Road, and Crossroads Boulevard runs east and west. It's just north of Pioneer Crossing. It's one of those side streets that a lot of Utah County drivers use to get over to Eagle Mountain or go south to Pioneer Crossing or Saratoga Springs. But again, the intersection is closed due to an injury accident. You want to avoid that. Now, if you're traveling any of the Valley freeways, you are good to go. A healthy smile means a healthier life. If you don't have a dentist, Visit YourSmileUtah.org for more information on community dental services. Your smile matters. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey, calling for a high of 74 today. Mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon with maybe a 30% chance for a shower. We'll go to 51 overnight, mostly cloudy, maybe some sprinkles out there. You head into Tuesday, yet again, afternoon heating, popping up some showers in the mountains, and we'll go for a high of 69. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And it's mostly cloudy in downtown Salt Lake City, 72 degrees.
You're listening to Utah's Noon News with Maria Chaleos
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, KSL News Time 1230. KSL's top story this half hour. A flurry of motions have been filed in the Tyler Robinson case as both sides prepare for a possible preliminary hearing later this month. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson is live with the latest. Heather?
Maria, prosecutors spoke to the media about results from an ATF report saying they couldn't definitively link the bullet fragments recovered during Charlie Kirk's autopsy to Robinson's gun. But KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas explains the report didn't say it wasn't the bullet, just that the results were inconclusive. Still, the defense says the comments were inappropriate.
Well, the defense heard that and said, you just violated the gag order. And so they want the prosecutor to be held in contempt of court. And the prosecutor's saying, no, I was just trying to clear up some misinformation that had come out in the media.
The defense filed a motion of its own asking to close parts of the preliminary hearing to avoid tainting a future jury pool. Right now, the preliminary hearing is scheduled for May 18th, but the judge is supposed to rule on some of these issues on Friday and may possibly consider moving the hearing date back if the defense still needs more time. Reporting live, Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
A local bookstore has decided to cancel a planned deal to offer signed copies of Governor Spencer Cox's new book after outcry from some members of the community. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis has more.
The King's English says they have listened to the community, and after a news conference where Governor Cox promoted a hyperscale data center in Box Elder County, co-owners Ann Holman and Calvin Crosby announced they'd be canceling the promotion of the governor's new book, Off Ramp.
We carry books by authors whose views don't always align with ours, but we don't have to promote them.
They say they had chosen to promote the book because of the work he and the First Lady had done promoting literacy in the state. The book will still be carried in the store. Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
A motorcyclist has died after they were hit by a car in West Jordan only days after warnings from Utah's Highway Patrol. The 25-year-old man was hit at the intersection of Banquet Avenue and Cougar Lane just after 8 p.m. That's according to West Jordan spokesperson Officer Carpenter. Now, he was given CPR on scene, but the man died before he could be taken to the hospital. Officer Carpenter says that this is a sad reminder for both drivers and riders to stay aware on the roads.
Being mindful of each other on the roadway just so we can all get home and where we need to be safely.
Last week, the Utah Highway Patrol warned drivers to be aware and stay safe after 72 motorcyclists died last year, the highest number in state history. A Harriman woman was arrested after going over 100 miles per hour while drunk. It was early Saturday morning on southbound I-15 near Lehigh. Police say she got up to 119 miles per hour. She is now facing multiple charges. On Saturday morning, a man was hospitalized after a crash in Highland between a motorcycle and a car. Lone Peak police tell KSL it happened on 6000 West and Canal Street. KSL's top national stories. The Supreme Court has decided to deny a lower Louisiana court looking to restrict by mail access to the abortion drug mifepristone. ABC's Devin Dwyer explains what's likely coming in the coming days.
Supreme Court basically has not taken a position just yet, and what they're deciding is whether or not they think the state of Louisiana is likely to prevail in challenging the safety of how mifepristone is distributed. So by next week sometime, the Supreme Court is likely to weigh in and either extend this stay or snapping back to pre-2023 guidelines.
ABC medical contributor Dr. Darian Sutton discusses the drug's uses and where patients might utilize it in their own treatments.
Mifepristone is actually a multi-purpose medication. It, of course, is used in abortions, but it's also used when unfortunate incidents happen early in pregnancy, for example, miscarriages, to prevent complications. It is still a major part of reproductive health, specifically with medication abortions. 6 out of 10 abortions are medication abortions, and 1 out of 4 of those treatments are provided through telehealth.
The Supreme Court's ruling comes after one last week, preventing lawmakers from using race as a consideration when drawing congressional maps. Other national stories KSL is following. The fallout continues after Spirit Airlines' sudden closure over the weekend. Thousands of passengers have been left to just figure it out.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said over the weekend the airline was, quote, bleeding money. The Spirit collapse means more than 1,300 crew members are coming home and 17,000 Spirit Airlines employees are out of work. Spirit says most stranded passengers have made it home with other carriers like American, Delta, United, JetBlue, and Southwest, which all offered rescue fares that were capped around $200 to $300 with proof of a Spirit booking.
That is ABC News Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis reporting. Passengers on a Delta flight from Salt Lake City had a scary experience when the plane was forced to turn around after a bird strike. It was back on Saturday night. The plane did get to the ground safely. No one was hurt. The airline says only one of two engines were impacted. Passengers were moved to a different flight and flown out later that night. First look traffic, still trouble out there, Ricky?
We are actually looking really good on the Valley freeways, Maria. In fact, if you're traveling I-15 either direction, you're good to go between Ogden and Provo. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:35.
I'm here with Monty from Connecticut Quality Water Systems of Salt Lake, an authorized independent dealer. So, Monty, I wonder if you know someone like this. He's the ultimate DIY guy. Restores classic cars, builds his own deck, and even smokes his own brisket.
Sounds like a talented guy.
He is, but get this, his other weekend hobby is troubleshooting his water softener. He's always down there resetting the timer or fiddling with the circuit board.
See, Doug, that's where I draw the line. Smoking a brisket is a great weekend project.
Yeah.
Fixing an electric water softener is just a chore.
Exactly. He thinks he's saved money by buying the bargain brand, but he's paying for it with his Saturdays.
That's the Connecticut difference. Our systems are premium because they are non-electric and fully automated. No computers to fry, no timers to reset. We install it and you get back to the hobbies you actually enjoy.
If you want soft water, do what I did and leave that to Connecticut. It runs on water power, not willpower. Learn more at softwaterutah.com. That's softwaterutah.com.
The local service you can trust with the financial solutions you need. Cyprus Credit Union is there for every step of the way. Learn more at cypruscu.com.
Thank you for joining us for Utah's Noon News. Recapping our top story, a flurry of motions have been filed in the Tyler Robinson case, and the preliminary hearing hasn't even happened yet. KSL News Time, 12:37. Some of the nation's best-known zoos were forced to close early over the weekend after a number of phoned-in threats. ABC's Jim Ryan says investigators are looking for connections among the hoaxes.
The zoos in Denver, Phoenix, and at least 5 other cities were targeted for bomb threats or swatting calls. At the Cleveland Zoo,
I've never been in a situation like that.
Lane Bialik and her family were among hundreds of guests evacuated. And while she says it was frightening,
Hopefully this was just kind of a one-time thing.
the affected zoos plan to reopen today.
The Hogle Zoo was thankfully not one of the zoos targeted. Utah could soon see a new type of fish in some of its lakes, and it's a big one. KSL News Radio's Britt Johnson has more.
The white sturgeon's potential length is longer than a great white shark, and it's in the approval process to be released into Hobbs Reservoir in Davis County and Grantsville Reservoir in Tooele County. 50 fish will be placed in each one as an experiment to see how the species fares here. But DWR Sportfish Coordinator Trina Hedrick says these fish will start out small.
We are trying to temper expectations a little bit, right? You know, if they survive, maybe they could eventually get that big. But for right now, they're going to be a smaller size. They're still a really cool fish, though.
They will be a catch and release fish, so the species will have a chance for survival. Britt Johnson, KSL News Radio.
A group of people in Cache Valley are tired of the light pollution, so they're working to do something about it. The Cache Valley Starlight Alliance is hoping to dim the night lights and give people a better look at the moon, the stars, and the sky overall. The work will be done in partnership with organizations, community members, and residents. Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.24% on savings at UCCU.com. And here's Ricky Meese.
A new accident. This is southbound I-15 prior to 1300 South. So far, the vehicles are out of traffic on the shoulder, so no lanes are blocked. and traffic is getting through the area just fine. We're still waiting for emergency crews to arrive. We do have an intersection closed due to a crash with injuries. This is in Utah County, Crossroads Boulevard at Commerce Drive. And if you're traveling I-15 in Utah County, no problems there. The rest of your Valley freeways are seeing a nice and quiet commute. Live at the Eccles presents Riverdance. 5 performances Friday through Sunday, beginning May 22nd at the Eccles Theater. Tickets at liveeccles.com. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Hey, the work week starts off pretty easy. I got a high of 74 today. Look for mostly cloudy skies this afternoon with a 30% chance for showers. Could see some gusty winds with these guys. 51 overnight, mostly cloudy. 69 tomorrow. And again, we'll see a pop-up chance for showers in the afternoon. High of 69. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And it's mostly cloudy in downtown Salt Lake City, 72 degrees. And coming up on Utah's Noon News, we'll hear more from KSL's legal analyst, Greg Skordas, about the Tyler Robinson case and that flood of motions that have just come in that case. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. You know, I've been telling you for quite some time now how I lost more than 40 pounds with the help of Salt Lake City Fat Loss. And, you know, it has made a huge difference to me. If you were out in your yard this past weekend and your back is still hurting, I used to have back spasms. And after working in the yard, just from carrying around all that extra weight, and now that doesn't happen anymore. But a lot of people, they suffer from high blood pressure, their cholesterol keeps climbing, they're already on medications, they're thinking about surgery. If that's you, if you have any of these problems, you owe it to yourself to at least first check out Salt Lake City Fat Loss. They help people lose 20 to 40 pounds naturally in about 60 days without injections, without prepackaged meals, not extreme workouts. But more importantly, they help you keep the weight off so you're not stuck wondering what problem is next. Now, imagine lowering your blood pressure, improving your health, taking pressure off your joints, because that's what's going to happen with Salt Lake City Fat Loss. And I love the fact that you don't have to buy any prepackaged meals. That means it's less expensive. My husband lost more weight than me just because we were just eating such great, whole, natural foods. Again, many of their clients lose 20 to 40 pounds. Find out how at slcfatloss.com. I've lost more than 40. What a great way to go, and I know that I can keep that weight off. Check it out. Check it out at slcfatloss.com, slcfatloss.com.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Don't miss the excitement of the crowd, the perfect ping of 300-yard drives, the sound of sinking a 15-foot putt, shifting the leaderboard. Challenge is an understatement. Beautiful, bold, athletic. LPGA's next-gen stars vying for glory on a course that's as stunning as it is challenging. The Copper Rock Championships Epson Tour, May 14th through 16th. Come for the game. Stay for the journey. Copper Rock, born to be played.
It's the time of year when so many wonderful things are happening. First of all, we've got Mother's Day just around the corner. We also have a lot of engagement activities, even some early spring weddings. And of course, we have graduations and so much more. It's time to make your reservations at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Either location, right in the heart of downtown Salt Lake City. If you're going to be up in the mountains, they're right there, Hotel Park City, with the very best meal you have ever had. It awaits you at either locations. Now, of course, I love to talk about the steaks. The ribeye is my absolute favorite. Each and every steak is cooked to perfection. But of course, there are other wonderful entrees as well, whether it be seafood or poultry or a specialty dish. It is time. Make your reservations for those special occasions that are just around the corner at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, heart of downtown Salt Lake City or Hotel Park City.
KSL News Time, 1245. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
prosecutors in the Tyler Robinson case don't think they should be held in contempt for talking to the media about the ATF's inconclusive results for the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk. This and other motions filed in the lead up to Robinson's preliminary hearing. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, a local bookstore has decided to cancel a signed pre-order deal for Governor Spencer Cox's new book over the concerns about politics. Third, traffic and weather together, Ricky.
A small accident southbound I-15 prior to 1300 south, out of traffic on the right, no lanes blocked. In Utah County, we do have an intersection closed due to an injury accident. Crossroads Boulevard at Commerce Drive on your way from Lehigh to Saratoga Springs. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Some mountain pop-up showers and cooler weather the next couple of days. I'm Matt Johnson.
It's mostly cloudy, 73 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
ABC News, I'm Mike Tabusky. Lots of new developments in the war in Iran today, with the United Arab Emirates now reporting a new wave of attacks from Tehran near an oil depot in the area. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burridge.
If you think about where the attack on Fujairah to the east of there, that's the east of the Strait of Hormuz. So that is an area where there have been able to be oil exports going out of that port up until now. And so the Iranians seem to be sending a signal. There's also, critically, been the report of a vessel, a cargo vessel off the coast of the UAE in that broad vicinity, also struck.
The increased hostilities come about a month into a fragile ceasefire. In the same day, President Trump announced the U.S. military will begin escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Cole Allen is in court today. He's the accused White House Correspondents' Dinner attacker. Over the weekend, Allen's lawyers asked for him to be taken off suicide watch, but later took back that request. This is ABC News.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. More complications in the Tyler Robinson case. He's the man accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk. His defense team is asking part of the preliminary hearing be closed to the public.
Court hearings are open to the public almost always, and preliminary hearings are certainly open to the public. The defense is asking for something unusual here, and they're saying that there are some things that are going to come out in the state's case at the preliminary hearing that are so damaging or potentially damaging that getting those in the public light, getting those exposed to the public, are going to make it next to impossible to get a fair jury. So they're saying that parts of the preliminary hearing should be sealed, and the public shouldn't be able to hear some of the state's proposed evidence because it will make it very hard to get a fair jury in Utah County.
KSL legal analyst and the host of Inside Sources, Greg Skorda, says he's never seen this move before.
Courts are open to the public. That's just part of the American way. So it's very unusual, but I could also understand that this case is very unusual. It received media attention like no other case we've had in Utah, with very, very few exceptions. And so the defense is trying to just keep a bottle on it and say, how are we ever going to get a fair trial with all the media this case is getting? And is there a way to just put a cap on some of it that's coming out so that we can hope to get a fair trial by sealing part of the public record, including part of the evidence that's going to come out at the preliminary hearing? That's going to be a tough one for the judge because I've never seen that happen before.
He adds that the number of motions filed on both sides is a little unusual.
Both sides are fighting about whether they'll even have a preliminary hearing. The defense is saying we need more time, and the state is saying we're just putting on a bare bones case, and you have all that information. You don't need our whole trial case book because we're not putting on the trial. For example, DNA evidence is still being looked at, and the defense is saying we need to see that. The state's saying we're not even going to use it at the preliminary hearing, so why should that be a holdup? The judge is going to have to weigh whether or not the defense still should be able to look at it before the preliminary hearing, even though it's not going to be used at the preliminary hearing.
And right now, that preliminary hearing is scheduled for May 18th. Let's get you up to date with traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Build smart, save big with construction loans at UCCU. Here's Ricky Meese.
Valley Freeway traffic still looking pretty good right now. We do have a small accident southbound I-15 in Salt Lake County approaching 1300 South, but it's out of traffic. All lanes are open, and that's why we have good speeds throughout. Our main secondary is also looking pretty good. Crews are still working to clear a crash in Utah County, blocking the intersection at Crossroads Boulevard and Commerce Drive. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast, starting out with a high of 74 today. Now, by afternoon, there is a chance we can see some pop-up showers in the mountaintops. One or two of those could try to get into the valley. 69 tomorrow, similar setup. Temperatures will top in the mid-60s on Wednesday, mostly sunny. Thursday looks great. 76, partly cloudy. Friday, terrific. 79, mostly sunny skies. We then got a 74 on Saturday. Right now, Mother's Day looks dry with a high of 77. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Mostly cloudy, 73 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City, and the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Quick check of the markets at this hour. Ooh, the Dow losing more ground. A complete update of your money news is coming up next.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Does it feel like someone's stabbing a knife into your heel? Or does your lower back give you problems as the day goes on? The Good Feet store wants to help you, like we helped Ann.
Every time I stood up, pain just shot up my legs. Fortunately, I found the Good Feet store. I went to them after my doctor diagnosed me with plantar fasciitis. And now, thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm 100%.
Wouldn't it be nice to get back to doing what you love, like Patrick did?
I was in constant pain. Somehow my fiance and I found our way into the Good Feet store. Put my foot on the arch support system. I put them in my shoes, my back, my knees, my ankles. Thank you. Thank you, everybody at the Good Feet store. You gave me my active life back.
Learn more or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com and come in and get your free personalized fitting at the Good Feet store. We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Tim Hughes back at Replenish Landscape Garden Products. That means it must be spring, and spring has sprung a little early this year. I'm here with Greg. You guys, I don't think, have stopped all winter long, have you?
We haven't. We've had business throughout January, February, and March has taken off like a rocket.
With the lack of precipitation down here in the valleys this winter, the need for nutrients, and I'm going to guess moisture retention is going to be more important than ever, Greg. That's where your soil blends come in.
We have 3 great soil blends for growing specifically. We have the topsoil compost blend, we have a Ute-like garden mix, and we have also the box garden mix, which is formulated specifically for container boxes.
If you're in need this spring and upcoming summer, make sure you stop in to Replenish Landscape Garden Products. You can buy it in bulk, you can buy it in bag, or have it delivered from 4660 South 200 West in Murray. Find them online at replenishcompost.com or give them a call at 801-262-5142. Replenish. It's good stuff.
If you've got a honey-do list with electrical, plumbing, heating, or air conditioning projects on it, Any Hour Services can help. Call Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air. anyhourservices.com.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with a sun protection factor, or SPF, of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. UVA rays age the skin, UVB rays burn, and both cause cancer. But the perfect sunscreen doesn't count if you use it wrong. Don't need sunscreen on a cloudy day? Wrong. 80% of UV rays still get through the haze. Only use sunscreen at the beach? Nope. Anytime you're outside, UV rays attack the skin, so you need protection. And you have to reapply sunscreen every 2 hours. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
911 coming back what happened.
My son and his wife and their 2 children haven't responded.
Susan Powell disappeared on a snowy morning in 2009.
I said, Josh, where are you? You need to get home.
And her husband will never be held accountable.
Your wife is missing, Josh.
Yeah, but
And you want to think about it for a couple of days?
I'd had this overwhelming feeling that he had done something to her already.
I'm Dave Cawley, host of the podcast Cold.
Then he starts making phone calls to Susan's phone.
Hello, Susan. We are on our way back.
It's the deepest of deep dives into this tragic tale of abuse.
Where was Josh when Susan disappeared?
I don't know. Of one mother's desperate attempt to escape.
This is me, covering all my bases.
Help prevent it from happening again.
Our focus has and continues to be finding Susan.
Listen and learn by following Cold wherever you get your podcasts.
KSL News Time, 12:54. Pop superstar Britney Spears reached a plea deal in her DUI arrest today.
She is taking the plea deal to a lesser charge. She is being sentenced to 1 day in Ventura County Jail. She has already served that time from when she was arrested. 3 months in an alcohol education program, fines of $571, and any time police want her to undergo a chemical test, she'll need to do that. So no jail time, no trial.
That is ABC's Alex Stone. Watching Utah's money with the NHL and NBA playoffs in motion, prediction market apps are seeing some major activity. But one event people couldn't bet on was Saturday's Kentucky Derby. CNBC reports it's because the owners of the Derby don't want it to be. They say to actually cut a deal, they have to be at the racetrack. Restaurant chains are reporting weaker than expected sales, and Reuters reports it's because of the war in Iran. The increased cost of everything else has people spending less on eating out. Starting late July, Capital One will start paying customers owed money in their $425 million settlement. The settlement follows a lawsuit claiming the company deceived customers about interest rates related to some of its savings accounts. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is down by 569 points, more than a full percent, sitting at 48,930. S&P down by 33 points, and the Nasdaq down by 73 points. Tonight is the Met Gala, fashion's biggest night of the year. The dress code this year, fashion is art. Global editorial director of Vogue, Anna Wintour, and the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute curator, Andrew Bolton, are putting their stamp of approval on the idea. The guest list includes Beyonce, Nicole Kidman, Venus Williams, and others.
Ready for your next vehicle? At Performance Automotive in Bountiful, your new Ford, Toyota, or Honda is here. Built for Utah communities, canyon weekends, and everything in between. Choose capability with Ford, long-lasting reliability with Toyota, or smooth efficiency with Honda. Backed by friendly experts and financing options that fit your budget. Visit Performance Ford, Performance Toyota, and Performance Honda for your test drive. Browse inventory, check pricing, and schedule your visit at PerformanceBountiful.com. Performance Automotive in Bountiful, driven to be the best.
Does your home have peeling paint or faded colors? Don't procrastinate. You need to protect your home with quality paint and a worry-free process, so make an appointment with CertaPro Painters. You quickly get a free estimate that's detailed, easy to understand, and then their trusted local professionals will bring fresh color to your home with quality craftsmanship at the right price. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro.com.
Common Spirit Health. Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advance healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Healthcare with Human Kindness is here. Hello, Human Kindness.
KSL Broadcast Group contests are open to participants 18 years of age and older that are residents of Utah, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest may not enter. Persons who have won in the last 30, 60, or 90 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available at kslnewsradio.com/contests.
My name is Tom.
My name is Cindy.
We give to and volunteer with United Way at our community free health clinic.
We know our time and money are going to the right places.
We don't just wear the shirt.
We live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. You deserve to love where you bank. Ricky, what's happening on the roads?
We have a new accident. It's in Centerville for Davis County drivers, but already in the cleanup stages. It's at the top of the off-ramp from northbound I-15 at Parish Lane. With nutrients blended for greener, healthier turf in our local soil, IFA's 4+ Lawn Care program is the ultimate lawn owner power move. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Taking a look at the forecast for the Wasatch Front, looks like we have some very nice weather ahead for the week. We do have a 50% chance of showers tomorrow, but after that, it looks like fair skies. Temperatures up into the 70s, upper 70s by Friday. And our high today is going to be about 74 degrees. We've almost reached that already. We did have the clouds move in, which means we do have about a 30% chance of showers this afternoon. Right now in downtown Salt Lake City, 73 degrees. And the bright side up next. Welcome back, Ethan and Alex.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
1 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Becky Bruce. KSL's top story this hour. A judge has ordered a former Santaquin nurse to spend up to 15 years in prison after she was convicted of helping her friend die by insulin overdose. KSL News Radio's Adam Small was at the hearing today in Provo.
The hearing was packed with family and others close to both Megan Sundwall and the victim, Casey Lynn Terry. Terry's sister tearfully spoke, saying Sundwall didn't deserve to call her sister her friend after helping her die, even though Sundwall's attorneys argued Terry was contemplating suicide. Prosecutors disagreed, saying Sundwall encouraged Terry to take her own life for years. Sundwall also got up and spoke briefly, tearfully apologizing to the Terry family, saying she wishes she could take back what she did.
Ultimately, it's up to the Board of Pardons and Parole whether Sundwall serves that full 15-year sentence. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. President Trump and the U.S. military have kicked off the Project Freedom mission aimed at escorting ships safely through the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Louis Martinez explains.
The effort here is to provide a defensive shield. And to that point earlier today, we understand that the United States military brought down some drones, brought down some cruise missiles, and destroyed some 6 small Iranian craft that were targeting commercial shipping.
Military officials claim they've already escorted 2 U.S.-flagged ships through the area. The Arcade Bar Quarters will shut down its Sugar House location. They say they were driven out by slow summers, construction, and high rent. Your money at this moment, the Dow is down just over 1 percentage point, about 567 points all told. S&P 500 and NASDAQ are also in the red. Coming up, we might see some snow showers on the horizon. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time 102.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.